everybody. So somebody on TikTok asked if I would do a video walking you through my whole stock trading journey, how I became a self-employed stock trader, and I thought now's a good time to do it. I'm going to make it as brief as possible because it's going to be the whole life story. So when I was 3 years old, I saw Hulk Hogan tear his shirt in half, body slam Andre the Giant, and I was like, I'm going to do that when I grow up. And sorry, Mom, but I never grew out of it. And when I was getting ready to graduate high school, I was at this point where I was looking at schools, pro wrestling training schools, and all my friends were looking at colleges. And my mom kind of was like, look, you're only young once. This has been your dream since you were a kid. You can always go back to school, but you can't always be a pro wrestler. So she encouraged and supported it, even though she was like, terrified. And around the same time, senior year, all of my friends had iPods, and I'm noticing it. And when I graduated high school, I got a Mac laptop as my gift. And I was like, this computer is amazing. Everyone has an iPod. I think I want stock in Apple. And I was fortunate enough to grow up in a home where my mom was a very savvy investor. So I was always hearing her talk about investments. And I was like, oh, maybe I should buy stock. So I called, we used a stockbroker. It was 2003. Apple was $9 a share. I called the broker and I said, I want stock in Apple. And I want 300 shares. I had $3,000 to my name from saved up, dog walking and shoveling cars in the winter. I want 300 shares. And he was like, nope. Apple is a niche product. We don't invest in niche products, which now, of course, we know that niche products are the best because that's where your loyal customers come from. And he said, nobody wants to buy music on a computer. They want a tape. They want a CD. They want to physically hold it. And I was just like, you're wrong, but I don't know how to make that case because I was 18. So he said, call me a week from now and we'll see. And a week later, Apple was $12 and I was furious. And he said, all right, fine, 100 shares. So I bought 100 shares of Apple. And then it was off to pro wrestling. I arrive at this small school in Andover, Massachusetts, where if you follow wrestling, Kofi Kingston, Sasha Banks, tons of others have graduated from the school. It's a very good school. And on the first day of class, I'm thrown over the top rope. I land on the cement and I break my back. And I come home. I'm depressed. It's a 15-year dream, gone in an instant. And my mom understood that too. 15-year journey over like that in the blink of an eye. I'm going to need some time. So my mom gave me a little bit of time. And then after a while, she was like, all right, it's either to college or to work for you. And I didn't want to go to college because I didn't know what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So I went and I got a job in a restaurant. And I loved the restaurant industry. But then gradually they started to become more and more corporate, and that killed it for me. I thought the morale was slowing, the quality of the food, the way they treated their staff, the management, everything was just getting progressively worse. And I was like, this isn't for me anymore. And then they started lying to me about my salary and how much I was being paid. The guys in the kitchen were killing ourselves, but they were paying their friends to host for like $15 an hour. We're all getting like 10. So, and then they would lie to me. And then the host would be like, no, I am getting 15. Here's my pay stub. And I was like, they lied to me. I'm out. I quit. And I left the restaurant industry. I wrote a book about it. I went to my gym. And I'd always wanted to work in membership sales. Even right when I came back from wrestling, I went to the gym and I said, I want to do sales. And they said, we don't need you. So I did the restaurant thing. When I left the restaurant, I went to the gym. I want to do sales. We don't need you. So I spent a little bit of time writing a book about the restaurant industry. And as I was finishing up the book, I kept going back to the manager. I want to do sales. And he would say, we don't need you. We have a great team here, but I can hire you on the front desk. You can get paid basically to write your book at the front desk, and free membership. So I was like, all right. And I ended up loving that job. I did it for 5 years. And in that time, my Apple stock had gone to $200. And then the recession hit and Apple tanked. And I called the broker and I said, what do I do? I still didn't know very much. I was 23 years old. And he said, sell it. Everyone's selling. Sell everything. So I sold. I said, okay, do it. I listened to the professional twice. Big mistake. He told me to sell my Apple stock. What he should have said was, look, you're young. You'll see the end of this recession in no time. You were right. Apple's a great company. They have innovation. They have revenues up over and over and over. You should buy more. You shouldn't sell it. You should buy more. That's what he should have said, but he didn't. So I sold my stock in Apple. And right after that, Apple was off. 200 again, 250, 300, 400, 500. It just didn't stop. and I was sick. I was living in the past. He should have let me get 300 shares. He shouldn't have told me to sell. He should have told me to buy more. Should have. All these should haves. Around the same time, I'm listening to these older guys at my gym, members, and I'm thinking, these guys are old, therefore they're smart and they know what they're talking about. And I had tons of money saved up because I was living at home. My mom had moved to New York but said stay in my place. So I was still living at home and I was saving tons of money. And I had all this money saved up. I didn't know what I wanted to do next with my life. And I knew I didn't want to work forever for somebody else, but I didn't know what I wanted to do other than sales. I really wanted to be a membership salesman. But that wasn't, in my cards. So I thought, I got to do something. I have all this money and all these old guys are talking about what stocks they're buying. I'm going to buy what they're recommending. Didn't know how to research, didn't know anything. I would just come home and buy 1,000 shares of this, 1,000 shares of that, 20,000 here, 30,000 there, gone. All those stocks, right down the toilet. And I was startled. I had no clue what I was doing. I pissed away so much money. And I was like sick. I would see them and go, hey, what happened? And they would go, you win some, you lose some. I didn't know that these guys were just gambling. They were buying nothing. They were buying like 100 shares. They lost it, who cares? They were retired. It was like something to do. And I didn't know that. So I was getting crushed. And I was thinking, if I want to learn more about the stock market, I need to read, I need to study. So I got 2 books, which I will link below. And I got one book first, and then I got the other one years later. And I started reading and studying and learning how to invest. And we were in a bull market, prolonged bull market now. The recession was kind of over. Everything was kind of turning around, heading up. It's kind of hard to be wrong in a really strong bull market. And I was picking quality stocks, like Caterpillar and stuff like that. Bank of America, Toyota. They were all doing fairly well. So I thought I was pretty good at this, and I'm getting tired now. Corporate, the company, the gym had gone public. They had guys from Starbucks and Coke and McDonald's now running things. They would come in and they would treat the managers like shit, and the managers would treat the staff like shit. Everything was quota. It wasn't fun anymore. The culture had been killed. It wasn't anyone's favorite neighborhood bar anymore. People were miserable. The members were upset. Everything was awful, and I was getting tired. I was like, I need to get out. I am interested in trading. I had all those losers from listening to those older guys. Now I was making some quality investments. I was reading, I was learning, I was teaching myself, and I thought I need to start trading because I think that's what I want to do. So I got another book on how to trade stocks, and I'll put that link below too. It's from Nicholas Darvis, and it was really about momentum investing. And I read that book. At the same time now, the manager is coming to me and he's going, hey, you want to do sales? And I was like, my whole life, all I had ever wanted to do was sales. Now they're offering it to me, and I'm looking at the salesmen and they're all like, don't take this job. It sucks the life out of you. It's awful. There's 5 meetings a day. They belittle you nonstop. They treat you like shit. They stand over and they were micromanaging me, and I was front desk. Like the manager would stand there with the clipboard and he'd be like, why isn't your shirt tucked in? I'm docking you. You're wearing those Adidas pants with the stripes, because that's what people wore back then. You can't have stripes. They have to be all black. I'm docking you. And I was like, what is this place? Like, how has it become such a fun place to such an awful place so quickly? Just like the restaurant. Corporate America comes in with the rules and it just kills everything. And it wasn't fun, and I was getting tired of it. And I wanted to go off and do something new. And I thought, I got money saved up. Even though I lost a lot of it listening to those older guys, I still had some money saved up. I was kind of trading a little bit because I worked the gym at night. So I was trading a little bit during the day. And I thought, I think this is going to be my transition to trading. So I end up leaving the gym in around 2011. And I kind of break off and I'm like full-time stock trader. But I'm very cautious. And there's a member at the gym who ran a hedge fund, and one of my friends trained him and said, hey, why don't you sit and get coffee with this guy, and maybe he can give you some insights. So I sit down with this guy and his wife and kind kind of tell him my method, what I've been doing, what's been working, what hasn't. And he was like, where did you go to school to study finance? And I said, I didn't. It's all from these 2 books. And he was like, well, you know more than the interns that I hire from Ivy League schools. So that kind of gave me that little push that I needed to think, maybe I can do this. And so I left the gym. After 5 years working at this gym, I left the gym, and I kind of embarked on this journey as a stock trader. And that's kind of been it. It's been 10 years now, almost, that I've been doing this. I've learned a ton over the years. You know, when you're in a bull market, it's kind of hard to be wrong. And so it goes to your head and you're like, I'm a genius. And then when things plateaued for a little bit, I was like, wait a minute, I'm not a genius. What happened? I thought I was picking all these winners. So you're constantly, tweaking and changing your approach to things. And I think that's probably going to happen currently. I don't know when you're watching this video, if you're watching it today when I've made it in August of 2020, or if you're watching it 5 years from now. But right now, we're seeing all these Robinhood investors who really don't know what they're doing, and it's dumb luck. They're just piggybacking on these trades. It's going to go to their heads. They're going to think they're brilliant traders, and then they're going to get wiped out down the road. And, some of them will say, trading sucks, and they'll walk off and they'll do something else. And others will say, oh, I got lucky. It was a wild, volatile market, and I was just in and out at the right time on all these trades, just like me in 2008 with the recession to 2011, where I thought I was this like unstoppable stock picking genius, and it was just a really strong market after the recession ended in I think 2009. So some of them will leave, others will realize what happened back then or now, and they'll fine tune and they'll tweak their methods and they'll change and grow as things go on. So that's my story. I think I'm pretty happy now. I have a great quality of life. I am not a wrestler. I never wrestled. I wake up right before the stock market opens. I'm not drowning in debt. I don't have student loans. I don't work for a micromanager. I don't get yelled at if I don't hit my quota. The downsides, of course, are that my health insurance, I'm on my own. And there's no stable income, which you give up when you stop working a 9-to-5 job. So the most important thing is to say, live below your means, save your money, because there will be prolonged periods where you're not making anything, or you are on the wrong side of every single trade. And you need that reserve, you need that capital to ride you through the slow months or the bad months, which there are lots of. If you live over beyond your means, you have more than you can afford, you have too much stuff, too many things, too many kids, too many cars, too many whatevers, stock trading is going to be a little bit harder because you don't have that steady income. You have to live below your means. That would be my biggest takeaway. That's my story. I don't know if it's going to be helpful to anyone out there or if it's just interesting to listen to or not interesting. But thank you for watching. Please hit the bell. Please hit the little subscribe button down below so you can get new videos. Leave comments below if you want anything else, if there's content that's missing from my page that you would like to see. And thanks for watching and have a good day.